Everyone wants to know if their LinkedIn ads are performing well, or ask me the question, oh, how much do LinkedIn ads cost? So I thought I'd crunch the data and film this video to show you exactly that. But here's the thing, these data and these benchmarks show you the average. Reality check is average doesn't necessarily mean good. And from experience, looking at a hell of a lot of LinkedIn ad accounts and really crap campaigns, so many advertisers can't be asked and do not optimize their accounts and do not really know how to get the best out of LinkedIn ads. And the good news is it doesn't take much to absolutely smash these average numbers out of the park. So before diving into specific benchmarks, let's see what actually affects your cost. These 6 factors, what I've got on the screen now, affect why 2 campaigns targeting the same audiences can have wildly different cost per clicks. A really significant one is audience size. Smaller audiences, so more defined, more niche audiences, typically would see a higher CPM. So that's the cost to reach 1,000 individuals. Broader audiences are cheap, but the trade-off is they're less targeted. Targeting specificity, which is really related to audience size as well. Overall, C-suite targeting tends to cost you more than targeting junior roles. Premium audiences have premium prices because more people are trying to reach them. The industry that you're trying to target or that are included in your audiences, that can have an effect on pricing costs. Things like insurance, finance, legal services, SaaS products, they tend to cost more and you pay a premium for them compared to industries like manufacturing. This next one's interesting. It's your ad relevance score. If your ads perform well, they're well engaged with your audience, LinkedIn can see and monitor a high click-through rate, a high engagement rate. LinkedIn will actually lower your costs and lower your CPMs because it sees your ad as a high quality thing. It rewards advertisers who create good content. And on the other side, you'll be paying more if your ads are shit, boring, weak, and not interesting. Very important point there. And this one's often overlooked. It's the time of year. In Q4 or the end of the year, costs often spike as people try and advertise more in the run up to the end of the year. And then January can often be cheaper. I know this works differently for different industries and their cycles, but this tends to be the way across all advertising platforms. Okay, so the first thing I want to walk through is click-through rate benchmarks. Click-through rate is your clicks divided by impressions. It's basically the percentage of people who see your ad that actually click it. The global average for anything as advertising formats is around 0.5%. Things like message ads, they dominate, but that's because clicks are sort of measured in a different way. It's in a different format, it's not in the feed. Anything around 1% click through rate is considered decent in terms of a campaign, especially if you're targeting a niche specific audience. Really importantly, when you're looking at LinkedIn ads, sometimes for some specific ads, when it's optimized for engagement or things like thought leader ads, which are a really powerful tool, the click-through rate you're seeing is not the link click-through rate. Someone clicking on read more or clicking on your profile or just clicking it in the image is not the same. And that's why a lot of marketers can get confused and saying, oh, our click-through rates are 20% on these ads. No, you're running a thought leader ad campaign where clicks are measured completely differently. Or like video campaigns where, again, people might be clicking the play button. Completely different story, completely different metric. Don't be fooled. Make sure in LinkedIn ads you're viewing the right metric and you can customize the columns in LinkedIn ads to get deep granular data. And again, these are just some industry highlighted by ones we've worked with, ones we can access data for, one we can access benchmark through LinkedIn's prediction tools. And again, you'll see the average is okay, but it's not hard if you create some good ads to outperform these averages. A lot of these averages by industry are signaled by people spending a lot of money and not taking the time, attention, or using the expertise of creating good quality scroll stopping ads. Next up, the global cost per click average is around $5.50 or £4.50. But again, this varies so dramatically based on who you're targeting and which ad formats you're using. Also, it's not necessarily the be all and end all the cost per click because you want to make sure the exact right people who are going to buy from you are the ones clicking, not random students and interns just to get the cheapest clicks possible. And like I say, different job functions, different levels of seniorities are going to cost different amounts per click. The industries that you see with the highest cost per clicks are usually because their deal sizes justify it. And that's really the whole point is these costs are cost effective for advertisers who sell 6, 7 figure products. Their customer lifetime value is really strong. And overall on LinkedIn ads from all the different industries we've worked with, when you produce a decent campaign, because of how specific you can create the audience, how specific and micro targeted you could be to job titles, individual companies in your CRM list, people you contacted, it makes it so worthwhile because these are averages. I'm going to keep saying that these are averages. If you create good quality content, you can smash these averages out the water, even with laser super defined audiences. Here you can see cost per clicks by ad format. I've got another video where I rank each ad format based on like its effectiveness for niche specific, boring and unsexy B2B businesses. Have a watch of that to get more in depth on why, just because these different cost per clicks, how that doesn't necessarily tell the whole story, and why you should actually think about what the right ad format is for you. And probably single image ads are going to be the best for most beginners across most industries because it's the most versatile format and you can get across a lot with a single image ad. So with those cost per clicks, you do not want to be chasing cheap cost per clicks. It's not the be all and end all. I see it when I audit accounts and they work with crappy agencies or freelancers who don't know what they're doing and they're celebrating reducing cost per clicks. Great, that is a target to do, but not at the expense of audience quality. If you're getting £1 cost per clicks from an audience where 90% of people who would never buy and their audience size is 2 million and they're based all around the world in industries and markets you don't service, completely pointless. Very, very cheap cost per clicks can often be a warning sign, not a win. And one of the most egregious ways that agencies do this, or advertisers, beginner advertisers in house, are led to believe they're getting really cheap cost per clicks, is if you leave a tiny little box saying audience expansion or audience network. If you leave them ticked on, you'll get really cheap clicks, but these people will not be anywhere near the types of customers you want to reach. And all that effort and work and time that you spend creating an audience, or you should be spending creating a laser specific audience, is completely ignored by LinkedIn because you leave these two little boxes ticked on. Okay, rant over. I hate it. Make sure you untick audience network, audience expansion. And for all you agencies out there who leave them ticked on just to get a better reach, better cost per click for your client, and actually deliver them fuck all results, you're what's wrong with the industry. The real question isn't what is my cost per click, it's what's the cost per lead, what's the cost per qualified opportunity in my pipeline, what's the cost per closed deal. Those are the numbers that matter. So moving on to CPMs and cost per thousands, the average CPM one is a bit controversial because, like I just said, if you target huge broad audiences, your CPMs can be very cheap. It's almost pointless. The moment you get specific, you add in job title layering, you add exclusions, you target specific industries or specific company lists, the CPMs jump dramatically. However, that's for good reason, and you're paying for that specificity. No other ad platform can target exact job titles at exact companies and industry like LinkedIn can, because it has all that data. Everyone categorizes themselves into these niche audiences when they create their LinkedIn profile. Here again, I'm going to look through some like average cost per lead benchmarks, but it's vary so wildly depending on what you're selling, your offer, your audience, and again, how good your ads are. There's no like good benchmark because lead is a vague term. However, this is the data. You can see it by region, by different industries, and again, you'll see the same industries crop up being the higher cost per leads and the higher end of the scale versus the lower end of the scale. An interesting thing when talking about cost per leads is comparing the cost of lead gen forms versus website forms and the quality of those leads. Often, lead gen forms, which are a little pop up lead form you see directly on LinkedIn, it doesn't direct to a landing page. And you'll probably have seen this when you've like downloaded a freebie, a PDF, whatever it might be, a lead magnet from someone, and you just fill in your name, email, and LinkedIn auto populates a lot of the data about you and your company. These can be really useful for businesses, and we use them sometimes with clients. But the education amongst this is you have to be careful because these are people that have requested a freebie, a PDF, a lead magnet. These are probably not people who are ready for a call right now. And often with complex, sophisticated B2B products and services, the people who bang out a form straight away on LinkedIn aren't necessarily the right type of client compared to the one who's checked out your website, they've visited it a few times, they've read through your product page, demo page, and then they've booked in a call there. They are a less serious, less sophisticated buyer. Fine if they're part of a retargeting campaign where they already know who you are and you're just nudging, converting them over the line. But that's a word of caution with lead gen forms. And overall across LinkedIn, we see the quality of people that come in via lead gen form to be lower than that who filled out a form on your website. But look, try it, test it, experiment it. Some people have shit websites. Some people are really well known in the industry, or you might have amazing lead magnets and those free PDFs, free downloads with a really great sales process after that to nurture them from top of the funnel into a qualified lead, into a buyer and client of your business. Because, yeah, as you can see, lead gen forms typically deliver a lower cost per lead, but forms on people's websites tend to actually deliver a better sales qualified lead and a higher quality lead overall, and better if you actually want them to work with you as a client. I've walked through, and the single biggest lever from moving average to the top 5 to 1% in your industry is please make sure your ads are not boring. Just because you're selling B2B does not mean your ads have to be boring at all. You could do all the back end optimizations possible, but if your ad does not stop people from actually scrolling in the first place, it's all useless, it's all irrelevant. That is the biggest lever you can pull in a LinkedIn advertising campaign or any advertising campaign on any platform, is try and make your ads as scroll stopping as possible, hyper relevant, focused on your audience's pain points, problems, and issues, not about your corporate history or a lot of bland corporate waffle and jargon that doesn't mean anything to anybody. You need to stand out. If you already run LinkedIn ads and not sure if your account is underperforming or need a little tweak here and there in your ad account, book in a call at the link below and you can get a free ad account audit that will show you exactly where you're leaving money on the table and some quick improvements to get the most out of your campaigns and get you more leads more often. If you're watching this video because you're exploring the possibility of doing LinkedIn ads at all, again, you can book in a call at that link below. We'll talk about you, your business, the best platform to be on, the best type of ads, the audience you want to go after, and build out a campaign from scratch. If you're unsure, leave a link to your boring B2B business in the comments below. And what I'll do is I'll give you 3 free scroll stopping ad concepts tailored to your exact business. Thanks for watching this video. Bye.